For rebuttal.
So I think we should call this one Fig Leaf number 9. This amendment claims to restore state-level consumer and investor protections and the ability of harmed investors to sue, but it is so riddled with exceptions and caveats and loopholes that it's pretty much meaningless. Now, to be clear, one of the bill's most serious, fatal flaws is that it guts state enforcement authority, a point that Senator Cortez Masto has made over and over. And I offered an amendment that comprehensively protected all those authorities, but that amendment was blocked by the chair. I offered it because for decades, state securities regulators have acted as frontline cops on the beat in all 50 states, rooting out fraud and scams in markets, particularly in those that affect individuals or small dollar amounts that may not get priority from federal law enforcement. This provides a critical additional layer of enforcement capacity on top of federal watchdogs like the SEC to make sure that every individual who is harmed has a chance of being made whole and that the wrongdoers are held accountable. As the crypto industry has grown, so have the scams. As Donald Trump's federal regulators abdicate any responsibility for holding crypto criminals accountable, these state-level cops are the law-abiding American people's only line of defense. This bill already guts the SEC's ability to protect investors from the worst instances of fraud, insider trading, and market manipulation, but it also tramples on states' rights, blocking state authorities from enforcing many of their own laws, including those that fight fraud and illegal conduct in these markets. Eliminating these protections and remedies that consumers have already under state law will leave crypto holding consumers sitting ducks for fraud and far worse off than they would be without any crypto market structure bill at all. If this amendment actually did something, I would support it. But it actually does nothing, only fool people to pretend it's doing something. I urge a no vote.
Clerk will call the roll.
Spicy. Chairman?
Aye.
Mr. 𝐂𝐴𝐵𝐿? Aye. Mr. Rounds? Aye. Mr. Tillis? Aye. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Haggerty's aye.
Ms. Lummis? Aye. Mrs. Britt? Aye. Mr. Ricketts? Aye.
Mr. Ricketts.
Mr. Banks? Mr. Kramer? Mr. Moreno? Aye. Mr. McCormick? Aye. Ms. Warren?
No.
Mr. Reed?
No.
Mr. Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Van Hollen?
It has to be
Ms.
aye or
Cortez
nay,
Masto?
sir. Please respond only with nay or aye.
Ms. Smith?
No.
Mr. Warnock?
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Kim?
Aye. I
Mr.
guess they're
𝐂𝐴𝐵𝐿?
voting on amendments.
Ms. Blunt Rochester?
No.
Miss Blunt.
Ms. Also Brooks?
Aye.
Also Brooks.
The vote is 18 in favor and 6 opposed.
The amendment is agreed to.
So these are
There are no
amendments.
further amendments. The
Mr.
question-
Chair? Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I would like to actually offer Reed Smith 95. I know that this amendment has been
out of
ruled
order?
out of order.
Out of order. There are no further amendments. The
This whole damn
question is
court's out of
now
order.
on ordering the bill H.R. 3633, the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025, reported as amended. The clerk will call the roll. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
The clerk will call the
The
roll.
chairman?
There's some
Aye.
objections.
Mr. 𝐂𝐴𝐵𝐿? Aye. Mr. Rounds? Aye. Mr. Tillis? Aye. Mr. Kennedy? Aye. Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Mr. Crown.
Ms. Lummis? Aye. Mrs. Britt? Aye. Mr. Ricketts? Aye. Mr.
Rickety
Banks?
Cricket.
Mr. Kramer?
Rickety Cricket. Aye.
Mr. Moreno? Aye. Mr. McCormick?
Aye.
Ms. Warren?
No.
Mr. Reed?
No.
Mr. Warner?
No.
Mr. Van Hollen?
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto?
No.
Ms. Smith?
No.
Mr. Warnock?
No by proxy.
Warnock.
Mr. Kim?
Warnock.
Mr. 𝐂𝐴𝐵𝐿? Ms. Blunt Rochester?
No.
That's the best name, Blunt
Ms.
Rochester.
Also Brooks?
Aye.
And Miss Also Brooks.
The vote is 15 in favor and 9 opposed.
The ayes have it. H.R. 3633 is hereby ordered reported as amended to the full Senate. I ask unanimous consent that the staff be allowed to make technical and conforming changes and that the cordon rule be waived. Any objection? Hearing no objection, so ordered. Is there any member who would like to give a statement?
Mr. Chairman.
I'm sure Warren will.
Chairman?
Let's go,
Senator
Warren.
Moreno?
First of all, I want to thank all my colleagues for their hard work on this. I think there's still some work to be done. Section 301 specifically, I think we need to work on to make that even better. But specifically, I just want to call out my 2 staffers, Sophia and Lindsay, for the hard work that they put
He's
in.
shouting
And I'm
them
sure
out.
all of you have Sophia's and Lindsay that I think we need to give them a unanimous round of applause for their hard work.
I'm sure they did more work than the people clapping. Positive.
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Senator Also Brooks?
I'd like to say a few words on the bill. The digital revolution is upon us, and it has presented a clear opportunity to support small businesses, generate wealth, and I believe spur innovation. And the truth is, this digital revolution is happening with us or without us. Whether or not we regulate it to create the rules of the road or not, it is here. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and she and her peers have made it abundantly clear to me that they are interested in this innovation, that they believe that the digital revolution is important, and they want not only to be able to participate in it safely, but they want what every American wants: true and growing economic opportunity, the opportunity to become wealthy, to have generational wealth. And so that is why I am at the table. I've been in negotiations for over 9 months working toward regulating digital assets in a way that protects consumers and reduces the risk of deposit flight while still allowing innovation to happen. I have negotiated in good faith with colleagues on both sides of the aisle, and I want to thank them so much for all of their hard work. And in recognition of that good faith, I have voted yes to advance the bill today. Now, I want to be abundantly clear. My vote today is a vote to keep working in good faith. It does not mean that I'll be voting for the passage of the Clarity Act on the floor, because we still have so much work to do. I'm aware that we need to find a workable way to address law enforcement's concerns about financial crimes. I'm a former prosecutor, and I know how important this is. We also need to incorporate an ethics agreement that would apply not only to the president and vice president, but to all of us. The American people, especially my constituents, expect that from us. And we need to work with our colleagues on the Agriculture Committee on their product, which still needs work. I'll keep working with my colleagues to get this done. Americans from every background and every community deserve to benefit financially from this digital revolution and to be protected from the risks that come with it. If we don't act, we'll get left behind, and I simply will not let that happen. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
I think Senator Hagerty is next, and then Senator Tillis. Or Senator Britt, and then Tillis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ladies first. Senator Hagerty, please continue.
Ladies first.
Then ladies
Senator
first.
Hagerty, please
I just want to say
Is that a
thank you.
burn?
This bill creates a market structure framework for digital assets. It's going to supercharge innovation here in America. We've been long awaiting this. Less than a year ago, this committee advanced the Genius Act, and it has promoted a
bad in
tremendous
crypto sense.
world-leading regulatory framework for stablecoins. The act that we're going to pass today promises to do the same thing for all digital assets. And I want to thank you, Chairman Scott, for your leadership and for your commitment to me to work on technical fixes to the Genius Act that we have bipartisan agreement on. And I want to thank Senator Also Brooks, Senator Warner, and Senator Moreno for working with me on this bipartisan fix, and look forward to getting that implemented in the next iteration of this bill. Thank you.
Okay.
Senator Britt?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your leadership on this and everyone who took so much time and energy to help get this where it is today, in particular, Senator Lummis. You have put heart and soul into this, countless hours, because you want to make sure that we innovate here on our shores. You want to make sure that each and every person has the opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise. And it has been an honor to work with you on this and to watch you lead. In particular as well, Senator Tillis and Senator Also Brooks, thank you for your tireless advocacy urgency to make sure that we got this right. I do hope that this committee continues to look at ways that we can provide relief for community banks. There are a number of places where we have seen overburdensome regulations, things that were not intended to apply to a certain group, and we know that they're the lifeblood of our main streets and our small towns. And so I hope that we continue to look at that and look for ways to work together, even on this piece of legislation. In particular, Senator Cruz and I have a piece of legislation, the Community Bank Relief Act. We know when the Durbin Amendment was passed in 2010 that it ultimately, there were about 7,500 community banks that were exempt during that time, and now today there are at least are fewer than 4,500. So I think there are several entities there that were never intended to be burdened by that regulation, and I think we should fix it. That's one example of things that we can do to make sure that we're looking at the entire ecosystem. And I hope as we move forward that we'll be committed to doing just that. But thank you for your work and look forward to seeing this through.
Senator Tillis and then Senator Blunt Rochester.
Very briefly, I just wanted to associate myself with the comments made by Senator Gallego earlier about the work that we have to do. And with respect to what Senator Alsobrooks just discussed, we're going to keep the same spirit of negotiations going that we have up to this point. I want to thank Senator Lummis because she and her staff, who deserves a long weekend, they all do, but especially Chris.
No,
They
you don't.
thank them for their hard work. But I also want to talk to the stakeholders out here. You know, people know that I'm in disagreement with some of the banking community, but I've been with them before. I'm going to be with them again, and I'm willing to listen to ways that we can make this bill better as it moves forward. But we really must move forward. So to the stakeholders who are satisfied with the bill, great. To the ones who want more work, you have my commitment to continue to treat you in the same professional manner that I've requested of my staff all along the way. And Mr. Chair, thank you for your patience, and thank you for your leadership in getting this mark done.
Senator Blunt Rochester.
Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, and to all of the members of the committee, and to all of our staff who have spent countless hours, even through holidays, to work on this. That is because it is so consequential to our country and our economy. And because it's so consequential, it is important to get it right. For my state of Delaware, we have more crypto ATMs per capita than any other state. We've had the AARP come in. While they support the provision that was in it, they haven't put out a statement that they support the whole bill, because there are still concerns. My community banks, I am concerned still. Insider trading was one of the things that, for me, people could understand. And in this environment, there is a lot of concern. And so what I hope, and while I am, again, grateful to the group that has worked very hard and tirelessly, after the Genius Act, for me, I can't take a handshake. I want the work to happen in committee. And a part that was really missing were hearings. There were a lot of members of this committee who said to me, I don't understand what this is. If we don't understand it, how can we legislate? And so, as we move forward, I appreciate the good faith efforts, and I think we still have work to do.
Zero chance.
And I look forward to working with all of my colleagues, but particularly on behalf of the American people, because this is too big for us to fail. I yield back.
Thank you. Senator Lummis, comments?
I just want to add my thanks, Mr. Chairman, to you. To everyone on our side of the aisle who's worked so hard, to those of you on the other side that have worked so hard, and to a lot of the people that have informed the decision-making that's involved in this bill. Particular thanks to the folks from Treasury and Patrick Witt from the White House. Honestly, without their involvement, I don't think we could have gotten as much done. The agencies went from offering technical assistance to really rolling up their sleeves and helping with this bill. and our staffs, particularly Chris Land, my staffer. I can't say enough about your dedication to this. As I've said to Chris many times, we're the dogs that caught the tire. And it kept spinning and our heads kept beating against the pavement, but we can't let go because we caught the tire. And we're not going to let go of the tire until people on both sides of the aisle are satisfied that this is a product we can all be proud of. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That's the
Absolutely.
least
Let me
likely
just
outcome.
finally say, this process has been one of the most informative and challenging processes I've been through as a United States Senator. I will also say that it has been one of the most transparent times and processes I've seen, with members on both sides of the aisle and industry all in the same room at the same time
Hit that
for
tire.
hours upon hours upon hours. Any suggestion that somehow this was done without a process that was available to all members, undeniably, factually, patently false. I will say that the members Gallego, also Brooks, Warner, CCM, Catherine, as well as Britt, Rounds, Lummis, Tillis, and Moreno, the number of hours that you all spent talking to each other and getting to know each other better is unbelievable. How Gallego and Moreno continue to talk is a shock to me, but truly all things are possible. Colombians, both of them, that's what, thank God for that part. I also want to acknowledge the fact that Senator Gallego worked with Patrick Witt from the White House, tons and tons of hours trying to thread a needle. And I will say that without Patrick and the White House engaging with Democrats, this first step, it's not even the last step, this first step would not have been accomplished in a bipartisan fashion. Without Ryan and Trey, Tyler Williams, excuse me, Tyler, there you are, looking for you over there, working together with our staff, it would not have been possible to find ourselves where we are today. And I want to thank all staff, but particularly Janie and my staff, for their profound impact on this process. You all have worked, I know for sure, thousands of hours over the last few months just on this piece of legislation. And at 1:30 last night and at 4 a.m. this morning, I was still getting texts from you all and responding at 4 in my heart. 5 for real. But literally, this process has been one that has been, I think, quite educational. And I hope that we have a successful process on the floor. But I know one thing for sure, that when you all say you're going to continue to work on it, you mean it. And
you're lying.
Warner, once again, thank you for your dedication through some challenging times. You kept working. And may the Lord bless your family with the challenges. And CCM, I've gotten to know you a lot better. Appreciate you. I know we don't always get to the final point, but we're going to get there at some point. And thank you for your hard work and staying the course, no matter how you vote on the floor. With that, meeting adjourned.
Lame. Get back to work. These people don't work nearly enough. Apparently, so they were voting on amendments. Not the whole bill. I guess the whole bill's vote is coming. I don't know. Found out this a little late, but we caught the end of it there. It does appear from what we saw that most of the amendments passed. I don't know what, they didn't really say what they were, what's included in them. Likely they don't really know. You have to wonder how many of those people have any idea what any of it is. Certainly Senator Limnis, whatever. She certainly does. She's been in crypto, very strong advocate. And I hate to say it, but of course I even think Senator Warren likely has a better idea than most of the people in there. But look at the average age in there. Those people don't unless they are full-time in crypto watching this stuff like we are, they don't know what they're voting on. In that time, though, while we were watching, Bitcoin having a little bit of a rally here, the 200-day moving average still sits right above us, and now again within striking price. Likely about 82.1. currently at 81.6. That is quite a candle coming off of yesterday's low when we were streaming, and we said this has to be the low. This has to be it. We called it. We called it. Price did reverse, and now here we are. I was gonna just end the stream after the voting because we're gonna be live again tomorrow, but I can't look away now. Check this out. Bitcoin making a real run again. 1, 2, 3 attempts here. 4th attempt at the 200-day moving average. This is the pivot. This is it. This is a line in the sand. Maybe it's good that they didn't actually vote on the bill today, because I have a feeling had they voted a real vote on it passing or not, we probably would have, it probably would have sold off. Pass or not pass, probably would have sold off. Here we are. We're looking to break this right now. The nice thing, or the easier thing about it, is we don't even need to put in a new weekly high. New weekly high? No, we don't even need a weekly high. We don't even need Monday's open. Here we are, approaching it at the fastest speed Bitcoin has moved in quite some time. 82K, we are at the cusp. Touch it, reject, go lower. That is absolutely on the table. It's on the table. Dreams are possible, though, friends. Anything is possible. It's all possible. If you believe. Let's do it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bitcoin. Some really cool looking low time frame candles. This 15-minute during the votes had me in the first half. Closed up. Nice hammer. 15-minute continuation here. Let's take a look. Beautifully overbought on the 15-minute. I assume that's going to be visible down on lower time frames. Ooh. Interesting. Beautifully overbought. It's hovering up here. 10-minute. Oh, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. RSI up nice and high. We're gunning for it. We're testing it. Here it comes. We're testing it. And this is off the back right now. This is off the back of the huge, huge SPX breaking in for 26 years. It failed to break an all-time high versus M2. And here we are on the same day. I told you guys that this was likely to happen maybe even in the next day. Call hit. Here we are. Crossing. This is big news. This is big stuff. The only thing I expect or don't expect from this is boring nothingness. At this point, looking at the SPX, I think we're going to get a parabolic move. Likely the linear movements are over, or rejection. And it's interesting that Bitcoin is right at the 200-day during this. S&P obviously breaking all-time highs, right? As the M2 supply chart is as well. Yep, there we are. 7,500. Everything's fallen into place. At this point, let's watch the fireworks. MicroStrategy having a nice little day as well. Finding support. Moving back to Monday's high. What do you think? I can't look away. This is Bitcoin either like this is it. Like this is it. This is what we've been waiting for since we fell in February. Bitcoin has not tested the 200-day moving average as resistance. It hasn't tested it since April of last year. But the last time we even touched it was in November when we fell from the all-time high and continued falling. We did not return there. We got very close in the last few days, but here we are now officially within $50. $50, 0.07%. Could not be closer. Could not be any closer. This is what I've been saying for the last few weeks, is retaking the 200-day, breaking through it, holding it as support, moving higher, is a great start to something different is happening in this cycle. It's a great start. In fact, it is a start. It's not even a potential. It is a start to something different. But the likelihood or the probability of testing this and rejecting and looking just like every other bear market is still on the table. And that's why this price is so exciting. Of course, it can't be so easy. Of course not. Of course, you have to have a red candle. Just do it. Don't dick around. Don't be like that. Just do it, Bitcoin. We've been waiting so long. It's okay. If you want to reject, you want to have a bunch more months of bear market, that's okay. Do it. If you want to blast through it and make our hopes and dreams come true, make this time different, do that. I don't care. I just want you to do something at this point, please. Please do anything other than not test it today, trade back down, and spend another week side. Anything but that. Anything but that, please. We are seeing some interesting things happen over here on the super charts. On the day, we see funding rates, open interest weighted, very negative. That is a great sign. That is a beautiful, beautiful sign. We want to see that negative. Yep. Across the board, we have almost a negative 0.01 funding rate, meaning shorts are paying longs to stay open. While that does usually imply that people are opening shorts, we do typically view that in a rally as a positive. That does add fuel potentially for a squeeze setup for higher highs. Aggregated futures bid and ask delta dumped down 4K, and that would be the lowest it has been. Wow. Actually, okay, aggregated futures bid and ask delta is the lowest it has been as far back as I can see, actually. That is interesting. I don't use that metric often. I can't say that that's something I'm super familiar with, but I am familiar with there has not been a time where that has been more negative. That's pretty crazy. Along with funding rates, this is roughly the lowest they've been. They've been slightly lower back in April for 2 days. Other than that, things are getting a little spooky. They're getting a little spicy. Hold up, Bitcoin. Don't hold up. Keep going. Wow. Look at they just keep changing these liquidation. Like, what even am I looking at now? Am I looking at the matrix? Like, what's happening here? Neo, can you interpret this chart for me? What in the hell? Like, how is this helpful? What am I looking at? Okay, it's on the 1 minute. Maybe that's why. I don't know if that's any better. What am I looking at? I guess maybe these were liquidation clusters. I have no idea. What is this? They keep changing the way this looks, and it's confusing me. Let's look at the more simplified version. Hold up here. Coin glass. Holding at 82, pretty solid. We still have not tested the 200-day yet. If you're tuning in, we are right here at the door again for the 4th time. I think this is the time we knock on it. I think this is the time we have the guts. Financial value. Here it is. The 200-day moving average is at 82,268, and we are at 82,000. Hanging out. Just chilling, relaxing. Let's put a line here. Tomorrow is Powell's last day as the Fed chair. Quite a time. Wersch will join us, I guess, at the next FOMC in June. All right, liquidation levels, liquidation map. Here we go. The map is so much chiller. Here we are. For 1 day, we do see much more liquidations to the downside. About 1 billion at 72,000. Only 338 million all the way up to 90,000. I want to say that's good in the sense of it doesn't set us up for a squeeze. I don't want to squeeze here. Honestly, the last thing I want is a squeeze. That brings us into like the 90s and then falls again. Zooming out the higher time frame to a year, we see about 3 billion all the way to 91 and 5 billion all the way to 66,000. Not a huge spread. We see some clusters at the 78.6 level, 82.5 level. Let's go down to hyperliquid. I feel like hyperliquid, these liquidation levels are probably more honest because it's all on chain. More honest, maybe. TBD, but we do actually see about equal. Wait a minute. What am I looking at here? So this is liquidations down to, if price trades to 1,300, and then this is liquidation levels if price trades to 3 million? What am I looking at? Okay, 100K is the big cluster for the shorts on hyperliquid, and 87 in the longs category, 76. That actually lines up decently well with what we saw on the exchanges. Here we are. Today's the day. I believe today is the day that we test it. This chart, not this chart. This chart. Here we like, this cannot be overstated what's happening here. S&P today. So like, what does this mean? I've never seen this happen before, so I can only give you kind of like what I think, what my reasoning is. What this chart is telling us is that valuations on the S&P after 26 years have now gone back to what they were at the peak of the 2000s. For 26 years, we have had all-time highs, obviously, on the S&P, but they were funded, I want to say, largely by a growing M2 supply. Literally today, in the last few hours, we have seen that valuation go back. So 26 years later, here we are at equal valuations. I honestly only can view this as things are about to like go parabolic when it comes to U.S. indices, or they're about to reject from here. Perhaps that is like an overvaluation level and they're going to crash. I know that it could go up or down is not super helpful, but I think this is it. I think the linear growth is done. I don't think we're going to see chilling up to the right floating. I think we're going to see some much stronger moves, perhaps like some rippers. So we'll see. Did it pass, Jock? It just ended and they were voting on amendments, and pretty much what it looked like is all the amendments passed. I'm not sure if any of them were voted down. Not that I saw. They have another vote, I guess, to actually pass it. So they voted on the amendments to the bill, but they didn't actually vote on the bill, which was very, very sad. I wanted to see them vote on the actual bill. MicroStrategy pulling back here a little bit. Bitcoin, you could, if you could even call that a pullback, pulling back a little bit here. We are now taking another attempt at the 200-day moving average, trading under 0.5% below it at the moment. They voted on the bill. They voted on amendments. I don't think they voted on the bill. Let's see. Because they were talking about they look forward to voting on the bill. No. So as of May, I mean, this is AI generated, but as of May, has not fully passed Congress, but it passed a major hurdle by clearing the Senate Banking Committee on the 14th. That's today. The bill, which aims to establish a regulatory framework for crypto, previously passed the House on July, and now moves towards a full Senate vote. So there you are. This is how our government works. One part of it passes it, and the other one doesn't. We have a very strange system, it seems. Bitcoin won't hit new highs until at least 2027. I mean, that if you expect Bitcoin to do exactly what it's done the last 4-year cycle, the last 4-year cycle before that, then yeah, you would expect it. Then we'd see the low of this bear market in October of this year. We would climb up basically into 2027, the start of 27, and we would hit all-time highs somewhere, I guess now we could say like between March of 28 and then I don't know, like the end of 29. Yeah. That's the easy take. We're about to get some clarity. Speaking of the Clarity Act, we're about to get some clarity about the future of Bitcoin here for the next few months, I believe, as we are again within striking distance of the 200-day moving average, sitting at 82,200. We've made a strong approach here. We're seeing a pullback because nothing is exciting or fun, I guess, in Bitcoin anymore. Rejecting from this level would be further case. Be further arguments that this bear market is just like last time. We have had no attempts at the 200 until recently. In the last bear market, the 200-day moving average was tested one time. I say, this cycle is a little different as it took very little time in the last bear market. Did it pretty quickly. And then we remained under the 200-day all the way until 2023. The bull market had already started. So we haven't had our test yet. We've come hella close over the last week. It's looking like we are likely to get that today. Rejecting from there just looks like the bear markets of the past. In the off chance that we break through it, something crazy happens, things might be different. We'll see. China. What's up, Dark Side? was a reconciliation. It was like they're voting on amendments. Bitcoin will hit all-time high in 2 to 3 months? No way in hell, says Waffles. Well, certainly there's no reason to think that at this moment. Again, breaking that 200-day moving average, if we saw, I don't know, something wild happen, see a price movement like this, anything's on the table. Retake that 200. We've never seen that happen in a bear market. Every time we've retaken the 200-day, we've been in the bull market, at least historically. 4 amendments. Okay, they voted for 4 amendments. All of them passed. But then they didn't vote the bill. Unless, no, that they voted the bill. I think they voted on the bill, but that was the Senate Banking Committee. So that wasn't the Senate. The Senate has to vote. So it's like they voted for the Senate to vote on it. I don't know. Our government's confusing and weird. There were 5 to 7 amendments that did not pass. Yeah, we didn't catch the beginning of it, unfortunately. Didn't get it all. The Senate Banking Committee, this is what AI is saying, approved the bill with a 15-9 vote on May 14th. That's today. The next step is for the bill to pass in the Senate before heading to the president's desk. The House passed its version of the Digital Assets Market Clarity Act in July of last year with a 294 to 134 vote. The legislation's key impact is to divide oversight of digital assets between the SEC and the CFTC, providing the legal definition of crypto assets, like weighing security versus commodity, because commodities would fall under the CFTC and securities under the SEC. And that's why Warren was yelling about these things are functionally securities, blah, 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 or many of them are. Bitcoin bottom at 15K. I mean, that seems a little crazy. You expect Bitcoin to retest to go lower than the bear market last cycle. It seems a little wild. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. Today is a historic day regardless. I want to know your thoughts on this, guys. This is crazy. The S&P has sat under its valuation in proportion to the M2 supply for 26 years. Until right now today, until this morning. 26 years. In 2000, it hit all-time high before crashing. Here we are, literally today. We were live yesterday looking at this and saying, we're 0.3% away. We could see this happen tomorrow. We could see it happen today. There it is. It happened. Little pulling back. Okay, well. Not what I want to happen. I want to see it rip. What do you guys think? What are you thinking? I just saw the Clarity Act they were voting, and I was like, I'll just throw up a live. I'll see what's good. Since we don't have Chirp Pow anymore. That's a beautiful rally. Yesterday's low stopped exactly where we said on the live stream that it needed to stop. Back-tested resistance as support, did not have a lot of downward room, and it reversed right there at the low from the live stream. We got so close, but again, this is not actually tested. We still are just in near miss territory, within fractions of a percent. Looking for a higher low here potentially. Yes, Foxy, thank you. Keep telling people. They passed amendments. They voted on amendments today, but it did not pass the Senate yet. They haven't voted on it. Clarity Act won't have president's signature until July or June. I don't know when the Senate actually votes on it. When does the Senate vote on it? Clarity Act. I don't see an answer. There might not be a time where they do yet. Maybe that has to be decided because this vote had to happen first. K-Dubs, I like that. I like K-Dubs. Chirish, that's not bad either. Gina, there was a new lady in the last one. There's 2 new ladies in the last one. Chart is disturbing. Another inflation indicator. Well, actually, what's interesting, in my opinion, the way I view this is that this is actually, this chart is actually indicating the opposite. This chart is indicating that basically since 2009, that a lot of this, well, that all-time highs in markets, so I guess they're more in 2009, but all-time highs on S&P were inflation-driven and not I will say value-driven in the same way. So breaking this high from 2000 is maybe the opposite. It's saying that we finally, after 26 years, we broke it, but for all purposes right now, it's really just at the same level as 2000. Last time we hit this level, we crashed for 9 years versus M2. If that were to repeat, basically what we would expect is a crazy print of M2. Possible. Or obviously a crazy crash of the S&P with M2 climbing or remaining pretty stagnant. Nasdaq is dumping. We can look. S&P down a little bit here, but still at all-time highs today. Go to the Nas. I heard a good knock-knock joke. Do you guys want to hear it? It's not a good knock-knock joke. Are any knock-knock jokes good knock-knock jokes? Maybe. Nasdaq dumping? I don't know. Nasdaq dumping from all-time high today. I mean, still had a green candle after putting an all-time high in today. Still up 0.5%. I wouldn't quite call that dumping. $29,400. Monday's open. Weekly open. Not a bad place to look. Smash those likes. What's up, Tim, man? Love this content. What's up? Learn, enjoy, relax. Good to see you again, man. Not usually live today, but the spice was spicing, you know. Clarity Act had, I guess, passed the Senate Banking Committee. That's like the second thing it's passed, and then you got to pass the Senate. Just like 5 or 6 or 10 more votes, and it's all good. Late June or July, probably. What's up, Kent? We got a bunch of new names here. What's up, boys? Monopoly, Ace of Hearts, Algosaurus, Big Daddy Chit, Clever Custom Performance, Crypto Ace, Crypto Mealysis. What's up, brother? Dairy Freak, Steve-O, Digital Content, Foxy, Hollow Balolu, Janix, Kent, Khalid, Kill Gannon, and Learn, Enjoy, Relax, Life with James, Mark Jameson, McPooch, Reliu, Ross Smith, Scar, Jeskill, Sir XYZ, Sin, Verhoofdy, Web Dev, and Newbie. We have actually a bunch of names here today. We've had some quiet streams. I guess a big crypto event bringing everybody out of the woodwork. Some positive news while we're right here sitting close to all-time high. We are seeing some solid negative funding right here. You can see almost negative 0.1, almost the negative neutral. While that's not an unheard of level of negative funding, of bullish funding as they call it, it is deeper than we've seen mostly for, I don't know, like over a year. Maybe we've had 2 days higher. That is generally viewed as bullish. And we are right where we need some bullish price action. It's not bad. To the moon. That's right. Someday to the moon. Although, you know, Bitcoin's at 81K. It's at the moon. It just depends on how long ago you've been waiting. What's up, crypto traders? How you doing, Lynn? What's up, Luke? 1,000 viewers for the Clarity Act? I guess so. What's up, XRP Goat? Likey. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Join us. We'll be live again tomorrow. I didn't really expect to be live today, but we do have, like, this is extreme. This chart is so crazy. I'm like excited to see where this closes today. Are we going to close above the high? Or are we going to like reject down and spend like another week hanging out? I think at this point, we've seen the SPX break all of our charts here. SPX versus Dixie broke at the end of April. SPX versus M2 finally broke 26 years later. Bitcoin versus SPX looks not good. Not good at all. But that's okay. That's okay. We got you, little buddy. You got it. You can do it. We're rooting for you. Some of us are rooting against you, but I'm rooting for you. What's cool is the move was actually during lunchtime. Of course, on a day we're not streaming, but yeah. Typically, it's not money flow. A sliver here on the 45-minute. Still red money flow with this run. Highlighting, I would say, highlighting kind of bearish divergence here. A little higher. Somebody roll up. We need to get a little higher. Yeah, the voting ended, unfortunately. It's over. Take a short so we pump. True. True. What was the funding rate at the end of 24? I'm not sure if I can I look that far back? It's weird what data you just like can't really look back on. Okay, we can look at funding rate at the end of 24. Or no, we can't, because it just doesn't have the data. Maybe if we go to a week. There we go. So these are weekly funding rates, so they're like, they're averaged out, so meaning they could be more negative or more positive during those weeks, but maybe they're taking it on the close. I'm not really sure. On the close, measure coins, depth. It's hard to know what. It's hard to know whether it's like an average or the close or what, but end of 24 saw a nice negative funding in November. Positive funding into December, negative again in December, big old negative funding in January at the start of 25. The biggest negative funding we see would be right here, June of 25 for the week. That did lead us to all-time highs, but I am torn. I always say this. Negative funding is viewed as bullish. It should be. It's kind of like fuel for the fire on the way up, but oftentimes what I have seen is when you get short squeezes, probably true for long squeezes as well. But when you get short squeezes, you'll see big moves up. You'll see rips. October of 2019 comes to mind. You'll see big moves up. Like here. You'll see rips. But they always end up selling. They always end up selling off. They don't usually continue. They kind of blow their load and then they're out of momentum and they droop. Probably this was a long squeeze, right? Yet price went up. I don't view short squeezes as just like kind of sustainable upsized moves, but they do typically bring us some green, which is welcomed. Bunch of people talked. Lady argued. Yep, Warren argued the whole time, talked the whole time, and they passed them anyway. That's the long story short. All right, we had a nice little 45-minute stream. We had some good viewers. If you could, guys, make sure you've subscribed to the live. We'll be live again tomorrow around noon. Jump in the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. It's free. And sign up with our exchange partners in the video description below, Femex and BYD-Fi. They are great partners, great exchanges. Keep an eye out, have notifications on. Be ready for our stream tomorrow. Honestly, though, guys, I'm also saying this because I feel like if I end the stream, Bitcoin's going to go. If Bitcoin does break the 200-day moving average, keep your eyes peeled for another stream today because we're not going to miss that. We're so close. Something, I don't know, the whales never want it to happen when we're live, and often as soon as I ended it, the moves happen. Like you can see, it's already thinking about it. It's like we're detecting that Tom Crown is wrapping up. Perhaps we should pump it. Pump it. Go. 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 Just go. That's enough. Go. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Keep your eyes peeled. If we break the 200-day, We're going live again. Notifications on. I'll see you guys soon.